Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time checking out my channel, thank you for clicking on the video. I appreciate you for taking the time out of your day to listen to the bullshit I have to say. But for all my subscribers, people that have been with me since day one, I love you guys, appreciate you. If you can leave me a comment, thumbs up, all that stuff, it really means the world to me. If you guys have any suggestions for content you want me to make, put it in the comments, dude. I listen, I respond to literally every single comment, so, put it there and I'll get back to you. Probably will make a video on what you asked me to as well. Anyway, this video is going to be on NPP. And we're going to be talking about my specific personal experience, dosages and ancillaries, things you would need to take alongside of it to make sure you don't have any crazy side effects. Now, let me just say, this is like the third time I've tried to make this video, because every time I start to get into the science behind nandrolone, NPP, and these studies that have been done on it, and I end up fucking up every time because it's just too much information to squeeze into this one video. So again, this video is not going to talk about science. Briefly, I'm going to say this about the science on nandrolone. Almost all of it has been done exclusively on like rats and mice. So take all of that with a grain of salt. Any study that was not done on humans or your cohort doesn't necessarily apply to you. I learned this originally from Dr. Todd Lee. I just want to give him that shout out. It's not like my original idea. Always got to quote people, give them credit when credit is due. However, that aside, again, we're not talking about the studies. We're talking about nandrolone, baby. How does it feel? Right? What does it do? Guys, I am a big fan of NPP. I've ran DECA, I've ran NPP. I really like NPP. Cosmetically, it's not my favorite. It's okay. Like, you look pretty good, you will blow up. However, if you have any amount of fat on you, it's just going to make you look fatter because you do hold a good amount of water. But the reason that I personally really liked it, and I know a few other people that have had similar experiences, although I must say it is somewhat rare, it just makes me feel amazing. Like, nandrolone makes me feel like Superman, literally. Tren, honestly, I felt pretty shitty, and I've talked about that in other videos. It had a pretty negative effect on me overall. NPP was a complete opposite. I mean, I'm talking uplifted. I felt great. I was sleeping like really well. I track my sleep with Fitbit. My sleep score actually improved during the use of my NPP, which is really interesting. But just felt amazing. Dude, recovery was through the roof. I was actually hitting the gym, weightlifting 2 times a day for about a month before I had to take a week off. And I literally felt recovered, and definitely, yeah, that's overtraining, but I train because I love it. And this gave me the ability to do so. Like, is that the most effective or going to yield me the best results? Not necessarily, but I just love going to the gym, and this allows you to literally do it 2 times a day if you want to. So, that's why, again, I really loved it. It was a good compound for me. It worked really well. I had great mental effects in the gym. I felt good. I didn't necessarily get any increased strength like you do with Tren. There's not really any central nervous system drive. But lifting heavy does feel good in the fact that nandrolone, as many of you already know, helps lubricate the joints. It draws water in. Like I said, you get water retention, but that's also in the joints. So lifting heavy can, feel a little bit better. So for those reasons, man, I really did like it. It fit me perfectly for what I'm looking for. It's also really not that bad on blood work. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Of course, it's going to affect HDL, LDL, all that kind of stuff, but not that much. It's not crazy like Tren. It's not super toxic, at least as far as I can tell, right? Don't quote me. I'm not a doctor. Not advice. But that's what I found. Anyway, for dosages with NPP, guys, I'd recommend anywhere from 300 up to 700 milligrams a week. Any more than that really isn't necessary. It's kind of nonsense. It's just really, really high dose. 300 mgs a week, you're going to feel it. Like 350, 50 every day, something like that. Similar to how you would dose Tren. You will absolutely notice it. I promise. You don't need crazy high doses. Obviously, the higher the dose, the more of an effect it's going to have. These things are dose dependent, but after 700 or so milligrams, you're not going to get any more benefit. It's really just going to start to be side effects like crazy. So that's my recommendation, depending on how big you are, what's your training experience, how many cycles you already ran. I would put you between 300 and 700 mgs. This isn't something I would necessarily give someone on their first cycle, although here's the thing, I don't necessarily agree with this whole first cycle thing. It depends on your age, your goals, and all of this kind of stuff. What might be right for you might not be right for everyone else. So don't really listen to anyone who tells you your first cycle has to just be testosterone or has to be this or whatever. Like, everybody is different. So those are the dosages. Now, another thing about it is running it alongside testosterone. So there's two camps, right, of thought on this. There's the nandrolone only people, and there's the are you fucking crazy, you don't run anything without testosterone people. I'm personally one of those testosterone people. I don't think there's enough evidence to support that a nandrolone only cycle is not only like better from a muscle building standpoint, but healthier than using testosterone. What they'll say is that when you combine testosterone with nandrolone, you're going to be more, you're going to get more side effects, just because nandrolone also aromatizes into estrogen, similar to testosterone. So you just have a really heavy estrogenic burden. So for a lot of people, you know, you get the gyno from Test and DECA, or acne, you know, the water retention, things like that. But, you know, I also do know plenty of people, lots of people that run pretty high test, like 500, 750, even a gram, and, you know, 350, like I said, or 300 to 700 mgs of NPP alongside with it. And they don't have, you know, any bad side effects. Like, I had no negative side effects when I was running my cycle. I was like 750 tests and 300 NPP. And I had some gyno building up, but this is a long story. It wasn't actually from the NPP. It had nothing to do with that cycle. It was from the previous cycle and these hormone fluctuations I was going through. That's anyway also been basically resolved at this point with the use of tamoxifen, but I'm going to go into that in a different video. So testosterone with nandrolone, you know, I personally think testosterone should be in every cycle. Again, there are people out there that say just use nandrolone, no testosterone, and you won't get side effects. Like, they say no acne, hair loss. Those are the main ones. But gyno, sorry, is another one. Acne, hair loss, gyno for nandrolone only. But the thing of it is I don't know. I'm just like not sold on that being a better alternative. Yeah, you might avoid those side effects, but there's a lot of, you know, question on how nandrolone affects the heart and whether or not it is really, you know, a superior method. So for me personally, I'd rather run high test and just throw the NPP in there. But again, it's up to you. Do your own research. Figure out what works best for you. Again, there are people that just run nandrolone and, you know, swear by it. Personally, I'm not into that. I'm more of a testosterone-based guy. They are both bioidentical hormones. There is nandrolone in trace amounts in your body anyway. So, you know, take that for what you will. But anyway, this video's getting kind of long here, guys. I think I'm going to wrap it up. Really quick, in terms of ancillaries you're going to take with NPP, just blood pressure medication, guys. You don't really need to be fucking with these dopamine agonists like Prami or Caber. It's just honestly not worth it. Even Big Paul from Antibiotic Bodybuilding has said that he's seen, you know, hundreds and hundreds of blood works and almost never seen high prolactin levels because of 19-NORs. So it's just like, if you're going to take Prami or Caber, get your blood work done first and actually confirm that you have high prolactin and, you know, deal with it then if you have to. But definitely it's not worth taking, you know, proactively to make sure that, like, it doesn't happen. It's just silly. It's just adding drugs that are dangerous into the mix that you don't need to. So definitely don't mess with Caber or Prami. It's not worth it. NPP is a sick compound. I would use it with tests. Some people use it alone, but definitely way higher doses. If you're going to do nandrolone only, I think you need like 1,500 milligrams a week, I think, minimum, in order to meet your estrogenic need in the body, because it converts, but not a lot. Anyway, you got to pick what's right for you. I'm more than happy to talk about this with any of you guys. If you got questions or you want to know what I would recommend for you, let me know, dude. Put it in the comments, hit me up. And dude, if you made it this far, I love you. Not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys. Peace.